to Crafty Aims Workshop, and guess what I have today? I am so excited. I am so excited. If you guys are not subscribed to Cat Woods, I just love her. I love what she's doing, and I am wanting you guys to go ahead and check her out. So what we're doing is the month of September, we are going to write out the book of Ruth. We're going to read it, we're going to write it, and if you have more time, which I hope you do, study the book of Ruth. The other thing is, if you have a journaling Bible, or if you don't have a journaling Bible, we are doing, or she is doing, a verse of the week. She uses an Inspire Bible, journaling Bible, or an Inspire Praise journaling Bible. I don't have that type of journaling Bible. I have the My Creative Bible. So use what you have, because that's what's important here. Every week she's going to give us a verse to do. If I don't have the same verse that she's doing in mine that's already set up for me, I'm just going to go ahead and do the verse that's in my Bible. I'm not going to worry about it. If you don't have a journaling Bible, use the same notebook if you want to. If you're going to use a little tiny notebook or whatever, use the pieces of paper that you're going to use to write down the book of Ruth, and just draw out a picture of that verse. And just get creative with it. Get yourself in your Bible and get yourself reading it and getting into meditating on God's Word. That's the whole point of this. So the more you work with it, the more you're going to be blessed by it. So please let me know if you're going to do this. I would love for everybody to do this. Go to Cat Woods Facebook group and go to her YouTube channel, and I will link all that down below. I will also link the video of the September challenge. Okay, so I'm using the little notebook I got at the Dollar Tree. It was only $1 for 3 notebooks, so you could do that. These are sewn, so they're going to last a while. They're probably going to last longer than even a spiral bound notebook, just because the paper tends to wear out and it tends to fall out. So I think these are really better. Or you can do your composition notebook the larger size, or like I said before, just use a piece of paper. But for this purpose, since I'm using this, I don't want to see this. This does not make me, this does not give me inspiration to work in it. So I'm going to change it. So I have found this paper, a pad of paper that I found at Hobby Lobby. There's all kinds of designs in there, inspirational messages and things like that, but I want to just do a little bit of a plain look, and then I'm going to put stuff on top of that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure the paper against the notebook. Okay, I'm going to try to get it the same exact size. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to match it up as best I can to the corner of this page. If you have patterns on your paper that have to go up and down or side to side, make sure that your paper is in the right direction so you can do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace this side. Okay, and then I'm going to hopefully not move it, and all I'm going to do is fold it. And the reason I'm doing it this way is so that when I fold it, it will take as much space as it needs, and I can adjust it accordingly. So I'm going to need a little bit more space. You can measure it out, but I like to do things the hard way sometimes. Okay, I got it overlapping just a little bit, and you know what, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna worry about it. That way, if I do make a mistake, I'll have that little bit of cushion to go with. So I'm gonna finish folding it. Okay. Alright, now what I'm going to do is get my Fiskars paper cutter. You can use scissors for this, that works too. I just have this, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I'm gonna make it just a tad bit bigger just to make sure. I don't care if there's extra, if there's a little bit of overhang, that's okay. I'm not gonna care. It's gonna be alright. And then I'm gonna do this side. This has already got overhang, so I'm just gonna go right on the line. Okay, so this should fit almost perfectly. Then I can adjust it if I need to. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's a little bit big on the top and bottom, but that's all right. Like I said, it's all right. You want just a teeny tiny bit bigger. And then I have a little bit extra here. Now my choices are I can leave it like that, or I can chop it off, which I'll probably chop it off. But the first thing I want to do is glue it down. So that is the first thing. So go ahead and get yourself your glue. I've got a Scotch glue stick. Love my Scotch glue stick. I like the glue stick because it's dry, it doesn't wrinkle, it just works a lot better. You may want to put some paper down underneath this. I wasn't thinking. Probably should have paper underneath this just because this is an antique desk, but I can fix it later if I've made a mistake. Okay, move it up just a little bit. That looks good. It's still movable, so if you make a mistake, you can move it around. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to push down as hard as I can on the spine right here, and then go the rest of the way down. Because you want it as tight against the spine as you can get it. You don't want there to be any loose paper there. And then just push it down. Now, the one thing that I like to do, because glue stick is not always as permanent as I would like, I can go back, lift this up a little bit, and put down some tacky glue, like on the corners or on the edges. If some seeps out, grab it, get it off of there. You don't want it to glue all your pages together. Okay, now the other side. Your next option is you can leave it here and just let it dry for a few hours. Put a book on top of it and make sure it's really good and tight. But because I'm doing this video, I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges right now. You can use scissors, or you can use a razor blade. I'm going to use a razor blade. Just be careful not to use a cutting board too. Just be careful not to go so deep that you go through your plastic or your cutting board and onto your table. You do not want to do that. Like I said, you can leave that extra on there if you want. You can even fold it over if you want. That's also an option. Now, I am going to use my scissors, just the first ones I come across, and I'm going to just cut the little dabs that I missed with my razor. Okay. Now, just to show you, there is a little bit, a teeny tiny bit right there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to leave it. And then on this side, I want to make sure that it has the rounded side. Okay, so there it is. There's that part of it. Okay, now I'm going to decorate it. I'm going to write, on mine, since it's so little, I'm just going to make this specifically for Ruth. If I have a ton of pages left later after I've done this, I could go back and just flip it over. And yes, I would have, you know, what that should be the top. I could just flip it over and do another book on the other side, and it would be the opposite direction. But I mean, that's one way to not waste your paper if you don't feel like you can fill this up. So you could do Ruth on this side, and you could do, I don't know, Esther on this side. So that's one way to do it. So I've got some letters that I'm going to use to put on here. And these I bought also, I think, at, I'm pretty sure I got them at Hobby Lobby. I go to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, mainly Hobby Lobby. I also go to Walmart. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the letters so they don't fall off, because the sticky on these stickers sometimes does not stay. So I'm going to just guesstimate where I want it, and hopefully it'll be okay. So there's the R. Alright, check that out. And then I could probably put a little sticker or something right there. But I'm trying to decide if I want to put this, one of these little ones on here. Ooh, I like that one. So let's take that one off. Some of these stickers probably are sticky, really nice and sticky, but I just like to make sure that they don't come off. So I put a little bit more glue on it just to make sure. And these have the foam on, if you can tell. It's like there's a piece of foam in there, you can see it. So hopefully it won't rip off. I've had others that have ripped off. So, and you know what? I might, just to make sure it doesn't come off, I'm going to put some more glue here for the second layer, just to make sure it doesn't come off. I'll do both sides. So now it's not going to be as like 3D-ish, but it has a little bit more life to it because it'll be stuck down with a better glue, because I don't want it to move. There we have that so far. I'm going to do the edges with this because I'm not much liking the white edge on there. So get yourself, you can use gelatos. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a stamp, what do you call these? Stamp, ink pads. And I'm just going to go run it over the edges so you don't see the white. So you could do a color and kind of give it that rustic look. Like there's a lot of people on here that do a rustic look with like the black or the grays and just go over it. I'm just going to have it stay pink, just to have that, just to have it flow. This doesn't look different. Just make it so that you will want to get into your notebook. in your Bible. Get busy, busy. Now, what I think I might do, let's try this. I'm going to stamp the edges. Ooh, neaty. I like that. Oh, I like that. Looky there. I like it. Pink. My favorite color. Now, after we did the cover and we've done the sides here, and then we did the front, I added something on the front. I'm going to show you here, but I did not record it, so I apologize for that. But, so here's what I did. I added some little flowers, which gives it a little bit of bling, a little bit of femininity, and that just makes me just love this. But these are what I used. They're called, I got this at Valentine's Day, or I'm sorry, after Valentine's, when Hobby Lobby had them for like 75 or 80% off, so I got them like really cheap. So I just glued these on to the front here. Now we're going to go into the notebook and we are going to make a pocket on the front and on the back. So we're going to use the same color that we used last on the front. So we're going to use it on the back as well. But before we do that, I am going to put some washi tape on the top. Kind of balance it all out. I'm going to use this gold washi tape that I have. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, kind of measure how much you need. Get some extra off if you need to, because you don't want to have too little. And then just cut it off. Make it as straight as possible. Up and down. Okay. And then I'm just going to stick it. Now, I think I might go ahead and use some tacky glue because I don't want this washi tape to fall off. The problem with washi tape is that it doesn't stay stuck sometimes, so you have to give it a little bit of extra stickiness. So I just put a line of glue. I'm going to spread it around a little bit. Remember, tacky glue dries clear. There's that. Okay, now I'm going to put the straight side of the washi tape right up against the spine of the book. Make sure it's all the way up in there. And then stick it down. And then you can move it around because the glue on here is wet. At this point you are able to get any wrinkles out that you have. I'm noticing that there's still some whiteness from the book, so I'm trying to move it up a little bit. So now I'm just going to take my scissors to trim the washi tape. So hopefully that's going to stay stuck. I'm going to do the same thing to the back. Great. That looks really good. Now, moving on to, we're going to put our colored paper on. This is going to be the pocket. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of measure this out. Really, I'm not measuring anything. I'm just lining it up. Making sure I've got enough into the crease here of the notebook. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Just shut it after I get it where I want it. And then grab my pencil. And so let's go ahead and just cut that out. That should match up like that. I didn't make it long enough. Oh well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off maybe a 1/4 inch right there. And it'll reveal a little bit of that. And then I'm going to make a little mark right there. I've got it at about 1/4 of an inch and cut it off. So I'm not taking too much off, just enough. Let's measure and see. That looks good. Okay. Then I'm going to take a hole puncher, a really gigantic hole puncher. I'm going to turn it upside down, and you can tell where your paper is by just turning it over and looking. I don't want much of a thumb spot there. Try to gauge, you can measure and see where the absolute middle is, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and punch. So I'm going to do maybe 1/4 because I know there's not a whole lot of space left. So there is my little pocket. If I went any further down with that, I think I would be showing the white of the notebook. So I think I'm going to leave it there because that's getting close. So now we're going to glue it down. And we're only going to glue the edge. We're going to put glue here, here, and here. We're going to keep that open so you can put stuff in there. And since I cut the paper a little too short, I'm just going to put the glue a little over because it's not gonna, there's not gonna be any paper there. So there's that. I'll put a little bit more on the bottom so it doesn't come through. And then position it on there. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the same thing on the back, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we've got the front pocket, we've got the back pocket. I did it this way because when you're writing, you know, you might get to the back here, and if you've got like one of those half pockets, it's going to be dented. While you're writing, you're going to see that line where the pocket is. So I wanted it to make it as solid as possible. So that looks good to me. What's going to bother me is seeing, if you can tell, you can see that I didn't get over far enough with this. So how I'm going to fix it is by using one of these, what are they called? It's just a marker, a pigment marker. It's magenta. So it's near to the color of this paper. So all I'm going to do is color it in. And then that won't bother me so much. I mean, it's not a big deal. You don't have to do this step. I'm just doing it. Not real noticeable, so I'm happy with that. It did bleed through a little bit, but that's alright. I'm going to cover it up with other stuff. So perfectly fine. Okay, so there's that. That was fixed. Now, since now we've got some more white from where we cut the paper, so we're going to take our pink ink pad again, acid-free pigment by Stampabilities. This one's soft pink, and I'm just going to run it over it. The only thing, and I'm not going to let it bother me, is I cannot get to that right there. Let's see. Without hurting my washi tape. Oh, it wipes off, so that's good. Okay, so let's try this. It's on the back page anyways if it don't work. Let me wipe the washi tape off. I'll do the same thing over here on the front. Okay, wipe it off the washi tape. This washi tape is kind of waxy, so. Okay, so there we have it. I'm not going to put any embellishments on this. I could stamp it, but if I put any more embellishments on this when I'm writing, again, you're gonna have those markings where you're gonna see where I've got something there. So we're not gonna do. Okay, I found me a stamp. I'm so excited. This says have faith. So we're gonna use that one, and we're going to use the archival ink, acid-free permanent waterproof watering can. Okay, that is the color, watering can. It is pretty dark gray. The last time I used it anyways, it was dark. So what I'm gonna do, let's plan. I am going to set it, I guess I'm gonna set it right there. I'm trying not to get too much on the gold, but because it's dark, I'm hoping, oh, that's good right there. Make sure you get the ink on there real good and thick. You don't want any, this is only a one-time stamp. You can't re-stamp it, it'll look horrible, because you can never stamp it on the same spot twice. So here we go. So we're gonna go right there. Push it down really hard. Okay, let's see, moment of truth. It worked! Yay! Okay, so I'm going to use a Sharpie pen because I don't think that looks the best. So pray that I don't make this messy. Okay guys, the last thing I want to say is the paper that I used for this. It is in this book. I got it for $5. I think Michael's, not for sure. It was $19.99. But anyways, this one is the Paper Studio, and it is Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed. And so there's all kinds of, well, several pages worth of foil lettering or just foil designs on there. So that's where I got the paper from. The other thing I wanted to say is I went ahead and put some of my little tags in there. So I've got a tag in here, and that's from one of the papers in here. I just cut it down to fit, and then I put a cream ribbon on the top to go with the gold. I could have used white if I wanted, but I didn't. I had white, but the white was way too big for this project, so I just went ahead and went with the cream because it's a little more mini. And then I made another one for the back. So, and then I kind of colored it with the pink stamp and stick that in the back. I just glued that on there. You can sew it on there if you want, but I didn't want to go that far with it. Now, I probably wouldn't keep these in there while you're writing. You can take those out later, but it'll probably make a bubble right there while you're writing, and you don't want that. So, here is the finished product, and I think it turned out pretty good. So now I am ready to do the September challenge, which is writing out the book of Ruth, and then doing the verse of the week if you are willing, and you can use whatever journaling Bible you have, or just draw it out in your book, or draw it out on another piece, another journal. Do whatever if you don't have a journaling Bible. But definitely, if you don't do anything else, write out the book of Ruth. You should, especially for this book, have enough pages to make notes if you need to, or maybe write it with different versions, or save it. If you have pages left over, which I'm sure you will, flip it over. Well, look what I did. Did I decorated by Crafty Aims. But if I didn't do that, I could just flip it over and then decorate this side for the next book that we were going to do. So, because we would like to eventually have the entire Bible written in our own hands and meditating on it and just enjoying being in the Word of God. So that is it, everybody. Check out Catwood's website, her Facebook page and her YouTube channel. She's doing updated videos. Again, today she had one out, so check that out on the September challenge and how to pick your utensils and things like that. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know if you are going to be doing this challenge. I would love to hear from you all, and I would love to see a big turnout for this. So can't wait to hear from you, and it would be interesting to see what everybody is using to do their journaling in. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!